All right. This is Keith Weaver with the Top Executive Strategy Podcast, where CEOs, COOs, and business owners share business strategies for success. This is 6 questions in 9 minutes because the best strategies are concise business advice. So let's get to it. Question number 1, in a few sentences, tell us who you are and what you do.
Yeah, so I'm Tyler. I used to be a healthcare administrator, but I've turned to be a business owner. So I own 2 businesses right now, one that does graphic and web design, and then the other one, we help people gather online reviews, and we make a super cool business card that pulls up on somebody's phone with a touch.
Awesome. Quite a change from healthcare, so
yeah,
that's
really
exciting.
Different.
So question number 2, what's the best thing about being a business leader?
I think the whole reason people become leaders is so they can have influence in some degree. So for me, it's influence, and hopefully influence to do something really good and make a good impact on the world.
We need more of that, especially in today's society. So question number 3, I hear from other leaders that their people strategy can be more of a challenge than their actual business strategy. What are your thoughts on that?
So I was watching Star Trek the other day, and I don't know if you know much about it, but there's this character named Q that just suddenly shows up on their ship, and Q seems to know time and space super well and can transfer across the galaxy, has lots of power. Anyway, they just defeated him in some episode, and he leaves, and he's constantly trying to understand humans, and the captain just says, maybe someday we'll understand that the time and space equation is simpler than the human equation. And I just thought that was kind of funny. And I think the same thing could be said. Maybe people strategy is more complicated than business strategy. So for me, it seems to be the case.
That's a cool analogy, though. So awesome. Question number 4, what strategy would you like to share with other business leaders today?
So I think the strategy that's helped me find the most success that I can find comes from a lot of different materials. But I've been reading this book lately. It's called, a lot of people know this book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Been around a while. A lot of people have read it. The strategy is simply to control your thoughts. And it's not an easy thing to do. It's probably the hardest work anyone will ever do, especially any business leader. So the strategy simply is to be decisive, know what you really want. So where do you want your business to go? How do you want to be seen as a CEO or COO? What do you want to accomplish with your company? And then to be completely decisive, know that's exactly what it is. Don't change it. And then start working up a desire to really complete that goal. And then keep your thoughts focused on that goal all the time. It might sound a little silly, but I think thoughts can certainly shape our reality. I think they start out pretty much like a seed, and then they make reality. It starts to become physical. So that's the strategy that's brought me the most success. Is I just figure out exactly what I want in business, and then just repeating what I've already said. I just create that desire, grow it and grow it and grow it. Usually I do that with repetitive word affirmations that I say in the morning and at night. Mm-hmm. And then I just, after that, I work hard to make it happen and create a plan. Anyway, the thing is, though, is I have to maintain my thoughts and belief that desire, that decision is really going to happen, and cast out any sort of doubt or disbelief or lack of desire for that thing. And then I can start to make my business goals and dreams come true. And that's where I find the most success, albeit I've just started out and I haven't had as much success as I want. But that certainly will come as I continue to practice this method.
Awesome answer. I like that, and great strategy. The other thing I like about that is, as you control your thoughts, then you're really controlling your emotions as well, because when you let those thoughts kind of wax and wane a little bit, it leads to a lot of emotional upheaval, which really causes a lot of problems for business owners as well as others. So great strategy. Okay, question number 5. What other successful business leaders like yourself would you like to acknowledge or you think would be great guests for a podcast?
So kind of goes along with the last question too, which is, what's your favorite past boss? I'm going to actually use the same person. So his name's Sean Morrow. When I was a healthcare administrator at Intermountain Healthcare, I was an operations officer at Heber Valley Hospital. He was the administrator of the hospital, or the CEO. And he was a wonderful boss, really good leader. He's transitioned since, and now he's the hospital administrator at LES Hospital in Salt Lake City. And I think he'd be a fabulous guy to have on the show, and he's a wonderful leader that I learn from all the time.
That's awesome. Well, speaking of, the final question, the 6th question, kind of is a fun question, is tell us about your favorite past boss. So I'll give you a little bit more time to talk about him.
It? Well, he's a stud. He definitely doesn't, he demands excellence. And so he makes sure that you're doing your very best, and he's really honest with you about that. And so if there are places that you need to improve, he does that with you. So he did that with me all the time. But at the same time, he's totally on your team. You can trust him. He wants to build you up. It was pretty cool because he hired me as a really young guy. I didn't even have a master's degree. You should generally have a master's degree when you start a job like that. But hired me on anyway and helped me grow as a healthcare executive. And just a good guy. He has a lot of vision. He inspires people to meet that vision, and he's going places. And I'd like to see where he goes further in Intermountain Healthcare. I don't think he's going to stop at being just a hospital CEO. I think he'll be some sort of upper level executive in Intermountain Healthcare.
But it sounds like, with you in particular, he saw something in you, and not only did he see that, but he helped nurture that and bring that out, which is, to me, that's a great quality for a boss.
That's true.
Well, hey, it has been great having you on today. Before we leave, why don't you tell people how they can find you or get a hold of you?
Oh, sure. You know what? You can just call me. My cell phone number is 435-671-3176.
Awesome. Well, this is Keith Weaver, and this has been the Executive Strategy Podcast. For more insights, you can follow us on LinkedIn or at Weaver Business Coaching, and we wish you the best success.
Thank you.